Welcome back to A Course in Miracles workbook for students. We are on lesson 45. God is the mind with which I think. Number 1, today's idea holds the key to what your real thoughts are. They are nothing that you think, just as nothing that you think you see is related to vision in any way. There is no relationship between what is real and what you think is real. Nothing that you think are your real thoughts resemble your real thoughts in any respect. Nothing that you think you see bears any resemblance to what vision will show you.
Number 2, you think with the mind of God. Therefore, you share your thoughts with Him, and He shares His with you. They are the same thoughts because they are thought by the same mind. To share is to make alike or to make one. Nor do the thoughts you think with the mind of God leave your mind, because thoughts do not leave their source. Therefore, your thoughts are in the mind of God as you are. They are in your mind as well, where He is. As you are part of His mind, so are your thoughts part of His mind.
Where, then, are your real thoughts? Today we will attempt to reach them. We will have to look for them in your mind, because that is where they are. They must still be there, because they cannot have left their source. What is thought by the mind of God is eternal, being part of creation. What is thought by the mind of God is eternal. Sounds like a question.
Right?
Anyway.
Number 4, our 3 5-minute practice periods for today will take the same general form that we used in applying yesterday's idea. We will attempt to leave the unreal and seek for the real. We will deny the world in favor of truth. We will not let the thoughts of the world hold us back. We will not let the beliefs of the world tell us that what God would have us do is impossible. Instead, we will try to recognize that only what God would have us do is possible.
Number 5, we will also try to understand that only what God would have us do is what we want to do. And what we'll also try to remember that we cannot fail in doing what He would have us do. There is every reason to feel confident that we will succeed today. It is the will of God.
Begin the exercises for today by repeating the idea to yourself, closing your eyes as you do so. Then spend a fairly short period in thinking a few relevant thoughts of your own, keeping the idea in mind. After you have added some 4 or 5 thoughts of your own to the idea, repeat it again and tell yourself gently, "My real thoughts are in my mind. I would like to find them." Oh, then try to go past all the unreal thoughts that cover the truth in your mind and reach to the eternal.
Number 7, under all the senseless thoughts and mad ideas with which you have cluttered up your mind are the thoughts that you have with God in the beginning. Are the thoughts that you thought with God in the beginning. They are there in your mind now, completely unchanged. They will always be in your mind exactly as they always were. Everything you have thought since then will change, but the foundation on which it rests is wholly changeless.
Number 8, it is this foundation toward which the exercises for today are directed. Here is your mind joined with the mind of God. Here are your thoughts one with His. For this kind of practice, only one thing is necessary. Approach it as if you would an altar dedicated to God, to heaven in God, in heaven to God the Father and to God the Son. For such is the place you are trying to reach. You will probably be unable as yet to realize how high you are trying to go. Yet even with the little understanding you have already gained, you should be able to remind yourself that this is no idle game, but an exercise in holiness and an attempt to reach the kingdom of heaven.
In the shorter exercise periods for today, try to remember how important it is to understand the holiness of the mind that thinks with God. Take a minute or two as you repeat the idea throughout the day. to appreciate your mind's holiness. Stand aside, however briefly, from all thoughts that are unworthy of him whose host you are, and thank him for the thoughts he is thinking with you.
Wow.
I love that. Try to remember how important it is to you to understand the holiness of the mind that thinks with God.
Mm-hmm.
And again, the other one that Nina read, my real thoughts are in my mind. I would like to find them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please show yourself. I'll be right back.
And also, your real thoughts, like you can switch it from I to yours. Your real thoughts are in my mind.
This one's twisting me a little.
And my real thoughts are in your mind. Like you can switch them because we are one, right? We're one mind in God. So my real thoughts are in your mind, and my real thoughts are in your mind.
I see. Yeah.
We would like to find them. So we're doing this together.
Right.
That's how we join.
And that's
Bodies
the
don't
relief,
join.
right?
Yeah.
We're not under pressure to be doing something perfectly. We are doing this together.
Yeah, so so in my mind, where are your real thoughts? And in your mind, where are my real thoughts? And we would like to find them.
Right.
Yeah. That's my intention anyway.
Beautiful. Number one was of course quite deep. Today's idea holds the key to what your real thoughts are. They are nothing that you think, just as nothing you think you see is related to vision in any way. So the same as what we think we see or perceive is not what God sees through me.
So perception is not reality.
Perception is not reality. Nothing that you think you see bears any resemblance to what vision will show you. Just like your thoughts. Nothing that you think are your real thoughts resemble your real thoughts in any respect. So we're yeah. You think with the mind of God, therefore you share your thoughts with him and he shares his with you.
Oh my God.
Your thoughts are in the mind of God as you are. They are in your mind as well, where he is. So we are to look past all the stuff we think
Is
that clutter, and like seven, that clutter up your mind. And behind all that, that's why it's so important to get quiet, right? To just have quiet moments, whether it be a meditation or just be quiet. The for me anyways, the clutter, the noise tends to dissipate, at least for me, after having a meditative practice for some time. I find when I get quiet, the thoughts quiet really quickly. And then that's where I get the divine guidance, the guidance, like it's time to do this, or how about this event or that project or whatever. So
Right.
those are not my thoughts because they just come out of wherever. So
Yeah.
they're not my thoughts, they're God thoughts in me.
Yeah, they're inspirational. They're inspired.
Planting
Yeah.
seeds.
Yeah. Everything you have thought since then will change, but the foundation on which it rests is wholly changeless. You know, it reminds us constantly that we are peace. We are God. We are perfect as we are. We've just layered on all this human body stuff and thoughts and actions that we do that,
But they're the same. They're the same. Everything is God. Like, so we think they're different. We've divided them between, we've separated them, going, oh, this is God and this is not God. And but it really is, everything is God, but we don't believe it.
Is that really what it is? That we just don't believe it, that everything is, yeah, I mean,
If you're enjoying, like say last night you were enjoying talking about whatever.
yes,
I mean, if unless you had any resistance, it's all good. God is
right.
good. God is good.
Kelly, what are you doing?
I was just blowing my nose, so I just took my headset off for a second.
Oh,
Oh.
it was just a like white noise. That's fine. Anyway, yeah,
Well, thanks, Nina. That helps a lot because I'm making some thoughts godlike and some not.
yes,
Right.
and so do I.
Yeah.
For me, I make resistance within myself something different than God.
Mm.
But there's nothing different than God. So can I honor my resistance or do I attack it?
Hmm.
I'm so glad you're here. Yeah.
Like, because resistance will feel like, oh no, this is bad. I better not do this. Better not have this.
I
Yeah.
better not
It's
think
just a
that.
feeling.
Right. Yeah.
And feelings are meaningless. Like we
Hmm.
put meaning to everything.
Yes, we do.
And so if we just right across the board, it's all equal. Like it's all not real. So why make it real?
Hmm.
Yes.
And then divide everything up. Yeah. Everything
Right.
goes.
I like in number 4 where it says, "We will not let the thoughts of the world hold us back."
Right. That's the resistance that
Hmm.
people, yeah, you're thinking, nope, 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 nope. And it's
I shouldn't think that.
everything's got a rule, this is the rule and da, 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 da. And it create like I have that inside of me. And that resistance actually divides God's reality and separates it.
Hmm.
And that doesn't feel good. And then I judge that. It's like, uh-oh, now it's really getting soupy.
I'm in a
And
spiral.
yeah. And so we can always come back to the truth and go, oh, everything is equal in the sight of God. In the mind of God, everything is equal. Because his thoughts are non-judgmental.
Mm-hmm.
So if we can think non-judgmental thoughts, we're thinking just like God.
Yeah. Bless you.
Thank you. And I also like the line after that, Kelly. We will
Hmm.
not let the beliefs of the world tell us that what God would have us do is impossible.
Right.
And it all comes back,
Opinions and stuff like that, right?
yeah. And our own attack thoughts that,
Mm.
yeah. This gets
Like I
clearer
even
and
had an
clearer every
attack
day.
thought. I had an attack thought about carnivore eating because I had a certain opinion about food, you see? And then all of a sudden this new opinion comes in to oppose it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not to be opposed. It's just to be seen as meaningless. Just like the thoughts I'm having about the opposite kind of food. Like they're both the same. And that's
Yeah.
what the world is trying to show us.
Mm-hmm.
Always changing its opinions. It's
Mm-hmm.
constantly changing its opinions. We're trying to like, what's true? What's true? I don't know. I don't know. Well,
Yeah.
it's if we think with the mind of God, it's all the same.
Right.
Not it's not to be picked and pieced out and going, I like this and I don't like this and then it's like,
So
no.
is all of it true or none of it true?
It's both.
Mm.
It's all not true
It just is.
because you can't separate things apart from God. Like it's all
Hmm.
God's world.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's all not real. If it's ego's world, it's all not real.
Mm.
And if it's God's world, it's all real because you're extending your own love, like
Right.
the love of God, onto everything.
Hmm.
It's like shining the light. So
You can't create darkness. You can just shine your light on it.
yeah, and that way everything's the same, everything's real because of that light. But still, it's meaningless because if you take your light away from it, it's not there.
Right.
Hmm.
So
God
whatever
is-
we shine our light on becomes real for us,
Mm-hmm.
yes, that's true. Yeah.
and it becomes meaningful.
And we add meaning to it based on the
Yeah.
past, because then we
Yeah.
bring
This
the
is the
past
light.
in and, oh, this is important.
Because we are the light, and whatever we shine our light on, we love, because we are the love of God.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
And if we
any
don't think it's like God, we'll hate it and judge it.
and judge it
Right.
and separate it. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So all we have to do is just remove our light from it
Yeah.
and not focus on it, not think of it, not, regurgitate it and
Mm-hmm.
analyze it and stuff. Just disregard it.
Notice it and disregard it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And give it neutrality. Well, that's what you're doing when you're noticing it. Just, oh well,
Mm-hmm.
that's funny.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, we noticed it. Now I'm going to just remove my attention from it, because our attention is our precious gift from God.
Yeah.
yeah,
Attention is, that's it.
yes.
Yeah, attention. Anyway.
I so value your input on these chapters, especially today when I'm quite sleep deprived.
Did you not sleep well?
My friend
Oh,
was
you just
here
went
until,
late.
yes, my friend was visiting me till 10 o'clock, and
Mm.
we could have probably talked for another 2 hours, but she lives in Salmon Arm too, so
Oh, yeah.
she had like an hour drive ahead of her, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
grateful she was here.
Yeah.
And it wasn't
Nice.
me taking the hour-long drive. Anyways, but it was a beautiful visit.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. Okay, under the senseless thoughts and mad ideas which you have cluttered up your mind are the thoughts that you thought with God in the beginning.
So basically, our own thoughts divide.
Yeah,
God's thoughts do not.
yeah,
So that's the only thing we have to remember. Oh,
Mhm.
when I'm dividing the world from good and bad, right and wrong, then those are not his thoughts. And I will be separate from who I am.
Yeah.
yes.
And the very last line, and thank him for the thoughts he is thinking with you.
Yay. Yay. There's always a thankfulness.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
And previous to that, take a minute or two as you repeat the idea throughout the day to appreciate your mind's holiness.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
So much to highlight in this one.
Yes.
And we're
Yes.
to approach this practice today as we would an altar dedicated in heaven to God the Father and to God the Son.
Yeah.
This is, I don't remember ever reading this part,
Right?
but he called God the Father and the Son.
Mm-hmm.
We are God
Yeah.
in God. We are the same.
Yes.
And that's what we're here to practice, is how are we the same and not how are we separate?
Right.
Yes.
And, I thought living in separation, that feeling of being separate,
Mm-hmm.
feeling left out, blah, 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 the stories. It doesn't feel good.
Exactly.
And what used to feel good in my life doesn't, because I put all my security in certain things in the world
Yeah.
instead of in God, which is my true essence
Yeah.
Yes.
that never changes. But
Yeah.
the things in the world do change. They come and they go, and they're always changing, and they're not predictable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you can't rely on them and depend on them. Like, things that we really depend on, like family, or, like there's things we value in this world that should stay the same, but they don't.
Yeah.
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 It's funny when you say that, it reminded me of my dad, who watch the news every day, you know,
Mhm.
especially after he was older. So when he was 65, anyways, doesn't matter. So he watched the news at noon and at dinner time and stuff. And
Yeah.
at dinner time, he would say, you know, it's so frustrating. They say canned soup, like we were Campbell's family, right? They buy the canned Campbell soups. Today, the soup, or yesterday, the soups were okay to eat. Now they're not okay to eat.
Mhm.
You know, make up your mind. So even my dad,
Mhm.
30 years ago, noticed the incongruence in what people were saying,
The messaging.
Mhm.
messaging.
Mhm.
And I like what you said earlier, Nina, that the things are changing all the time. So when we sort of go, okay, we can settle into this thought that it's good. Oh,
For now.
someone told us that's not a good thought, not good anymore. So again, it brings it back to what's inside because we can't
Yeah,
rely on anything external to give
right.
us the peace and the love of God. It's always within us. So when
Yeah.
things are
Yeah.
unpredictable or contradictory, then we can just go back and go, I know what I need to eat anyways. I'm not a
Mhm.
Campbell's kid anymore. I haven't
Yeah.
bought Campbell's easy and
Mhm.
I can't remember the last. It doesn't matter. It's not saying that Campbell's is wrong. I'm not saying even that. It's just not what I would consume.
Mhm.
And I'm not making anything right or wrong there, whatever.
Yeah.
I just prefer my homemade.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I love these lessons, these particular lessons. God is the light in which I see. God is in the mind in which I think. The next one is God is the love in which I forgive. And there's a couple of them. So we're gonna build on this foundation
Mhm.
of, again, anchoring in who we are in God. So it's just lovely.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I love these
Right.
chapters.
Yep. Yeah, there's a lot of wonderful. God's mind is holy and whole and complete. It's fulfillment. There's no seeking in God's mind. There's no searching in God's mind. There's no resisting in God's mind. Although it can appear as that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And if it does, can we can we just accept that as
Right.
Exactly.
part of God's mind too?
Yeah. We need to give things labels. That's how we kind of move
Mhm.
through the world.
And labels are from the past.
Right.
Yes, and
Nothing wrong with
instead of
that. Let's just
judging
remember
them,
we're innocent
Yeah.
yeah,
and question. Be like a little child. Why? Why do we?
Mhm.
Of course, that drove us, those that were parents were crazy, but drove us crazy. But why is a great question.
Mhm.
Why or how?
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the answer is why not?
Mhm.
Because it
I meant
is.
to be more inquisitive, like, why are we doing it this way? You know,
Mhm.
I know.
because I don't know. It's like jobs I've had. Why do we do it like this? Well, we've always done it like that.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
stories about grandmas or people that cut their ham and the ends off of the ham or something. And why do you do that? It's like, I don't know. I'll ask my mom, and mom's like, I don't remember. Ask grandma. Well, the pan I fit it in was this big and I had to cut the ends off.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Well, we don't have to do that anymore, right? We just,
Perfectly logical, but
so
it
it's,
doesn't apply.
yeah,
Yeah.
I have a huge pan. I don't need to cut the ends off,
It's
but we
because the
just,
mind
Right.
is a copycat. It doesn't really have its own thoughts. It just
Mhm.
copies what it's seen, what it's heard, and
Yeah.
then adopts it.
Yeah.
yeah.
And
And
we
that's
always
from the
feel like
past.
we want to bring lessons forward,
Yeah.
Yeah,
right? That they were actually lessons when they actually weren't. They were practicalities
yeah, yeah,
for a
like
very,
traditions.
very specific set of circumstances.
We have a family tradition. We do this.
That's right.
Why?
Why exactly?
Yeah,
Yeah.
why?
Well, if you can bring it in from an innocent point of view, it's like,
Mhm.
I don't know.
Exactly. Then
You
it
know,
then it
I don't
everything
celebrate holidays.
unravels.
I don't celebrate holidays anymore. I tell my kids when they get here, I just don't do it.
Mhm.
It's a lot of work and stress, and I'd much rather bring in Chinese food instead of making a turkey with and eating the whole thing. Or, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
Mhm.
we can create new holidays. We can do whatever
Yep.
God does, guides us in love.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Anyways, that's my rant.
Nice.
Well,
Nice.
when I was a child, like our family, we didn't observe Christmas, and the mind wants to belong. It wants to feel
Right.
included with everyone so that it doesn't feel like an outsider.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the only reason I really wanted to do it, because I would go to school after the holidays and everybody be talking about what'd you get for Christmas?
Mm-hmm.
And I would be in panic. Like I would be in
Mm-hmm.
such fear to even answer those questions. Like
Mm-hmm.
because I couldn't lie.
Yeah.
And I always like it was just horrible,
Mm.
horrible. And it's because the mind wants to feel included and it wants to hide if it's
Mm-hmm.
different.
Right.
Mhm.
Nobody wants to be different. That's why everybody still tries to be the same in the world. It's like
Yeah.
you see it out there, you're like, oh, they're just trying to be like everyone else.
Yep.
Yeah.
That feeling of inclusion.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was going to ask you, ladies, if you grew up with any religious teachings or anything like that.
We didn't go to church, but we did. My mom read the Bible when she had her awakening.
Mm-hmm.
We she would she was on the search, right? So she would search all different kind of books
Mm.
and unity books mostly.
Yep.
And but she would read from the Bible and we'd just take the metaphors from it, but we didn't actually do the religious thing, and we didn't believe that Jesus was sacrificed in like in a negative way,
Yep.
because we knew he had power.
Mm-hmm.
So he wasn't a victim,
Right.
and he looked like a victim up on the cross.
Absolutely. To everybody around, that would have absolutely been the observation
Yeah,
or
that
the truth in their mind.
yeah, I did actually think he looked like a victim up on the cross. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, we went to Sunday school, and I remember, of course, my mom would drop us off. My dad be like, "Yeah, whatever." I guess my mom wanted to give us options, and
Mm-hmm.
at some point, I remember them saying, my mom, anyways, "Do you want to go to Sunday school or go skiing?" Skiing.
Yeah.
So the sandwiches were made, and off we went skiing instead of Sunday
Mm-hmm.
school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you, Kelly?
I was allowed to go to whatever Sunday school my neighbors were going to, but I didn't even get baptized until the year before Tony and I got married.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
I got
my parents
baptized in my
were,
30s too. Yeah.
yeah.
How did you feel about baptism?
Oh, I thoroughly enjoyed it at the
Oh,
time.
that's great.
Yeah.
I had a baptism thing in the river during
Mm.
a workshop.
Wow.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we
That would be
all kind of
beautiful.
plunged and did a trust exercise where we just plunged backwards and then
Sure.
someone would catch us.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, it sounds lovely. Sounds
Right.
so
Anyway,
lovely.
yeah, all these thoughts. Oh, God is the mind in which I think. So yeah, any thought is legitimate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it just doesn't mean anything
Yeah.
special.
It doesn't mean anything special. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's word comes up a lot for us.
Yep.
Oh yeah, the special. Because
Special.
the ego mind is special.
Hmm.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
That's not to be demonized either.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just for noticing. I love
Yep.
that.
Mhm.
Noticing. I think of that often. I think, yeah, I'm just going to notice that.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then bring our attention, turn it around and back onto the God essence
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
and
Yeah.
off the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because that's why
Perfect.
people are tired. They're so focused on the world. And I know
Mm-hmm.
that when I focus on the world, I get tired.
It
Yeah.
drains.
It's draining. It's your energy, it's a treasure. It's God's treasure. So, and
Yep.
why would we leak it all out? Like we need to
Hmm.
build it up and within us.
Hmm. Exactly. Exactly. Awesome. Well, I think I'll end the recording here.